And just breathing with yourself and noticing from a neutral place with kind regard.
Usually I don't like to look at myself in the mirror. And there was through Hay House, there was a workshop on mirror work, and I really could not say I love you. That was the line you were supposed to use. I haven't done this in a long, long time, any mirror work. In fact, I was kind of reluctant to do this, but now what I'm noticing is, okay, there is this older person here who's looking at me in the mirror, or who I'm with. I'm not looking at, I'm with. And I found myself feeling a softness for this person.
Mm,
Softness, you would say a kind regard for this person.
yeah.
Like, oh, this person has lived over 70 years. Person's face reflects that. And that's okay.
Mm,
That's in fact admirable. Like, I used to call my mom the treasure. I
mm,
started calling her the treasure when she was in her late 70s,
mm,
and she died when she was 84. And I was really into calling her the treasure all the time. And I realized, okay, I am becoming a treasure. I'm going to hit that stage. That's, I'm moving towards that stage of becoming one of the old ones, and who we're glad to have in this world, because there's something about old ones. They're treasures. So I'm just blown away by what I'm realizing just by, the beginning of this venture.
So for me, Lois, you cut right to the chase that mirror work really comes down to talking to yourself, coming to terms with yourself in any given minute. So let's soften into the mirror with the sense of kind regard and notice that flowing warmth to yourself.
It's just got these just soft eyes,
Yeah,
such soft and kind eyes.
yeah,
That warmth, that's what the warmth does. And
yeah,
there is like there's a smilish attitude here.
yeah. Authentic smile starts in the corners of the eyes and spreads to the mouth instead of starting in the mouth. So here's another level of it. You have the warmth. Can you also notice the smile behind your eyes? That makes me laugh. I'm
Yeah.
in the mirror too, by the way. So we're both really seeing the same thing.
Oh, that's fun. That's really fun. We're in the same experience.
Imagine the lightness of being within you, filling your being. Lightness in both senses. Light, the opposite of heaviness, and also the lightness of, say, divine light filling your body.
Yeah. Well, Lee, the most miraculous moment was the very beginning. Just totally transformative. And I'm wondering now what's going to happen, because I have seen myself in the way that I have. This has the glow of the speaking circle. It has the glow of listening to oneself with the way that others listen, with the kind regard that's automatically there. It just in a speaking circle, it's just there. Not enough kind regard in the house of me. Always for other people, but not for myself.
Going back to your mirror and see, is there a call to action? Is there something you want to talk about that you could explore that would be useful going forward? Could be clarity around something, could be anything. Having that conversation with yourself.
More kindness, more kindness. That's the big thing. And remembering how I look, remembering how I really look, because I think this is how I really look. And I don't look this way to myself. I don't look this way to myself when I look in a mirror. Remembering I'm lovable. I am lovable. So various people really love me, but I in some way don't take that in. I appreciate it. I appreciate being loved, but I don't take it in. So this is just so helpful. I want this picture of myself to permeate myself. I am chronically not good enough. But this says to me, no, I am good enough.
Mm.
I'm good enough. I belong to humanity. I belong to this world. I feel like I've really got company. That's another thing, a sense of belonging. It's like, oh, I've got this special friend right here in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Another idea. You know what? This, you've probably thought of this, but for me, this reinforces the idea of essence
Yes.
because I see the essence of me in the mirror.
Woo!
There's so much essence. It's like, wow, look at all this essence. I want to remember how soft my face looked. I want to remember what my eyes were like. I want to remember how soft my eyes were. They were, and they were lovely. They were lovely, lovely eyes. And then the wrinkles on my face, how the wrinkles, added to my face, added to that feeling of the treasure that's coming, I think I've been feeling about getting older. I've been feeling the losses lately. Eyesight not so good. Memory not as good. Sometimes it's interesting. That's another interesting thing. Sometimes I'm just amazing with people that it's like some sort of alchemy that happens. It's not only sometimes, it's a lot in my work, doing psychotherapy, but it's more, I don't see my face this way. I think my concentration is so much on the other person, and that's another thing I think that happened with the mirror, that my concentration was also on this person. I really saw this person for these moments. And in a deep inside way, as opposed to when I did the mirror work, which just felt not like this. This was much more, the word literally is profound, much deeper, much deeper, deeper, wider, encompassing all time, having the kind of infinity of the universe, that kind of thing. One could say awesome. It's so hard to be able to be loving of oneself.
Yes.
It is so hard. And this leads the way to loving and accepting oneself with all one's flaws and having compassion for oneself. And this is, Kristen Neff with, her way of mindfulness that has to do with self-compassion. This is Brene Brown about belonging. If you can belong to yourself, you're not lonely anymore. You're not suffering in certain ways anymore. But how do you get to belonging to yourself? I think part of it, this could be part of the way, through self-acceptance. How do you get to self-acceptance? This is an experiential way of getting to self-acceptance, as opposed to the idea, oh, you really need to accept yourself, Well, that's also what's always happened in the speaking circles. When people talk about where they are, where they truly are, things start to change in a kaleidoscopic way. Mm-hmm. So when people are able to talk about the heaviness, the fears, the whatever, the, self-criticism, with the listing of kind regard, then things start to change.
Hmm.
And there is a greater lightness of being.
Hmm.